estate services. So you'll notice we have a number of partners here representing the tourism hospitality sector, but Jade is here representing our non-tourism sector. She is a force to be reckoned with. She is the co-owner of Legendary Real Estate Services. She's also the commander of the American Legion Post 327 in Lyons, and she runs the group for Armed Women of America here in southeastern Wisconsin. So she's going to be talking to us a little bit today as well about creative business in action. And for those of you sitting in the front, you're in the splash zone, as we like to say. Very good, Mitchell. You're right there. No, I'm glad you're there. No, I'm not telling you to move. I'm just saying, I'm glad that you came up and were brave enough to sit up front, because no one else seemed to want to do it. So, all right. So we're going to start with some questions, and I'm going to open up to the panel. Anybody can grab the microphone, and then we'll just do it kind of an organic, conversational way. So here's your first question. Can you share a moment when you faced a significant challenge in your business and responded with a creative or unconventional solution that transformed how you operate? Who would like to start? Jade.
So for our business, we really pride ourselves in just flawless execution. But no matter how good the process is with real estate, deals are always on the brink of falling through. Whether it's a bad inspection or fire gets cold feet, financing falls through, or the water main in the wall upstairs bathroom bursts in a multi-million-dollar home. The week of closing, which was super fun, by the way. Super fun. And my personal favorite is when buyers or sellers, they actually try to sabotage the closing. So that's a unique challenge that I think many of these businesses may have or don't have. But we were dealing with a divorce case where, super fun, the wife did not want to sell, but the court had ordered it. So what she would do is she would sabotage the showings, and we were getting offers, $100,000 below asking, multiple ones. And the pivot for us was saying, okay, there's a problem, and then there's an issue. The problem is the wife. The issue is the home. Let's solve the issue and the problem will go away. So we got a home inspection and it negated everything for her. We ended up selling the property for within 6% of closing, or the asking price, which was pretty incredible considering those other offers. We were sweating. It's really fun to have a court and lawyer breathing down your throat for that. But from that standpoint, it's exhilarating. The pivots is what makes everything so fun. The challenges is how we learn. We already have processes in place to make sure the transaction goes smoothly from day one, but now we have a playbook of everything that can go wrong, and that's what makes it fun. Having that pivot playbook. You all know your industry. You all know what's going to happen, what's going to go wrong. If you have it in advance, it's just, now it just becomes playtime.
Jade.
I don't know.
Oh my God. I guess I got to talk. The mic was handed to me. Okay, I would say one of the significant challenges in Gage Marine Corporation is we are a seasonal business. We do about 75% of our revenue in about 4 months. And it's very unique because each business has its own challenges. So, we have the marine business, which is boat service, storage, sales. We have the tour boat business, which is obviously the 8 tour boats, both tours and charters. We have the restaurant business, which is on the lakefront. We also have a catering business that we've spawned off out of that. We have a pier business where everyone wants their piers, and the first day the ice moves out, which people don't realize is not realistic. And then we have a retail store operation. So one of the biggest challenges that we have is staffing. And how do we gear up for that? And how do we get ready for the upcoming season? So one of the things we did, I've been at Gage now 6 years, and one of the things we did is we systematized each business. And what that means is you go through each business, and you go by week, by month, for the year, what has to be done when. So I can tell you right now, on January 18th, we will be contacting every ex-employee who worked here this summer. and finding out if they're coming back to work. And we will have everyone hired by pretty much middle of March for the entire. So we've gone from 400 employees to 649 employees this year. We are now expanded to Minocqua, which Jade was at Minocqua, and 2 weeks ago we bought a dealership in Green Lake. So we are, as well as taking care of here, we're figuring out how to bring our brand to other markets. But our biggest challenge is obviously is continues to be staffing and getting creative. And we love nepotism, just so you all know. So, but it's really neat to see our company and to see generations of people who have worked at the cruise line, for 42 years, and their kids have now worked, and their grandkids have now worked. But I think with this market, he's coming back, thank God. I can hand the mic over. with this market, with this market, and all of us, I think I'm all looking at a lot of familiar faces. We all face our challenges with staffing. So, but that's one of our biggest issues.
So we kind of heard a little bit about some of the challenges that you faced. Did you have anything that you wanted to add on this? Otherwise, my next question's for you. It's going to start with you.
Well, then let's start with me.
You want to start with you? All right. So we talk a lot about partnership here. I'm the partnership manager after all. So this is my sweet spot. So what's one partnership, and you can talk about more than one if you'd like, that you forged, whether with another business or organization, that unexpectedly accelerated your growth or led to a powerful outcome? I know you have some fun things going on out at the Grand Geneva Resort, so let's hear about it.
So we do. We have a lot going on all times between the 2 golf courses, the multiple food and beverage operations, the banquet, the groups in-house. We look for those partnerships. We thrive with those partnerships around. We partner a lot with our local vendors. We have a program called Straight to Your Plate that we're rolling right now, where we look for that vendor every month to partner with. But the one that really, when we talk about a catalyst that really stuck out in my mind, is we have an amazing marketing team, and they're always looking for ways that we can talk and grow our business and reach more people. And about a year ago, Jesse, who's our social media marketing person, reached out to a group called Bob Does Sports. And she was able to convince them to come out to Lake Geneva and experience Lake Geneva, not just the resort, but usually when we get these social media folks out, we try to get them to go out and experience everything around. Big fan of Bob Does Sports back there. And if you haven't seen them, these gentlemen have over 1 million followers on social media throughout their platforms. So they came out, we were able to convince them to come out. They did a full week with us. And they did golf, they did dinner. They ended up playing in the Hall of Fame. Thank you, Dan. The Hall of Fame golf outing as well. That was just happening to go on at the resort at the same time. They were willing to jump in and go there. Our social media following almost went up by 50% following having them out there. So it just allowed us to grow that reach, and that was really the catalyst that stuck out of my mind last year.
Bob Does Sports is awesome.
Bob Does Sports is awesome. If you haven't watched them, they're fun.
Any of our other panelists want to jump on that bandwagon about partnerships?
Well, the cruise line has quite a few partnerships with the local resorts. I think it's a long relationship that's gone on for quite some time, and I think it's an alternative to get people out on the lake. And I would just want to thank the partners for that. One partnership we did that's not in the area is we started working with a outside digital marketing firm. About 4 years ago, 65% of our tickets were walk-up tickets for the cruise line, which made it very difficult for scheduling and efficiencies and realizing what bookings were. And in the last 2 years, we have literally flipped it on its head, and now 65% of our tickets are pre-sold. So that really helps us with staffing, and 35% are walk-up. So that really has been a really good partnership, and obviously, finding somebody that could help drive our business through digital marketing was a big win.
From a small business owner standpoint, I can't say that there's one partnership that made a difference, but what we did do is, we put the literally the blood, sweat, and tears, forging relationships with the people in this community and forging really an ecosystem of relationships, showing up to these meetings, referring business, adding value, doing those things that inadvertently showcases your value or what you bring to the table, and ultimately having that opened up doors for us and allowed us to provide an experience that not only enhanced what we're providing for our clients, but solved our problems. So from a small business owner standpoint, if you have this unique value that you can bring and showcase, and you've got the relationships to back it, I really feel you develop a reputation that's just untouchable from that standpoint. And I think every small business owner here wants that for themselves. And every business owner here that I've connected with, and some I still have yet to, I know you have that. So I really look forward to networking with you on that.
So here's a question about guest experience. What's a way that you've reimagined the customer experience, either using tech, design, or storytelling, that has made a lasting impression? I'm kind of looking at you, Jay. I'm sure that you've reimagined the customer experience. You talked a little bit about it earlier, but you want to elaborate?
Yeah, nothing too revolutionary, but because we were no longer guiding our guests through the experience with a fairly knowledgeable guest on their wagon, there was really no way for them to learn about the animals they were seeing or even what kind of animal they were seeing. So we do have QR codes now available whereby they can look up the animals on what's kind of a virtual field guide on their phone.
Anyone else?
I think at the resort we have multiple opportunities when we have this come to us, but we are always looking for how we can meet the guests where they are. What do they want to do? We've done a couple things in the last couple of years as far as experiences on the resort. We did a Dow dinner on the mountaintop. I know some of the people here today experienced that, which it used to just be the ski mountain that was shut down in the summer, and we found a way to activate that in the shut down in the summer. It was activated in the summer now. Fire pits, simple fire pits on the backside of the resort. Didn't cost much. We developed s'more kits that really were customized for families and allowed them to take those and have that experience and have those moments together as a family. And we're continuing to innovate, and we're going to start a short course this next year. Originally it was supposed to be a 10-hole short course. It's going to be called We Nip, and we did go We Nip over, and we're going to end up with 11-hole short course now. But that's really more an experience for our guests. That is a different experience than our other two courses. It's going to have a completely different vibe. Bourbon tastings out there and music playing. You can walk around without your shoes and just a couple of clubs and play holes at your leisure. So just continue to look for those evolutions in our business.
I think we're looking at technology to enhance the guest experience, specifically on the tour boats. One of the things we face is people talking over the docent, the tour guide. It's very frustrating. And so one of the things we're looking at is technology where we'll geofence the houses that we're talking about, and then on your phone, you'll be able to get the tour read to you in the language that you speak, which is really interesting. So if you get on a boat on a Sunday, you'll see multiple cultures. Obviously with Chicago and 9 million people 60 miles away, we get quite a few different people show up here. And so one of the things we're trying to improve the guest experience through limiting the talking in the background, and hopefully technology will help us do that.
You have a new brand experience store coming in downtown. You want to talk a little bit about that and how you're bringing everything together into one guest experience in downtown Lake Geneva?
So the Keefs came to us, this is like 6 weeks ago, not even that, and said, hey, this store is going to be vacant for the summer. We really think you guys should consider doing that. And we quite frankly were doing that. I don't know if the folks from Cornerstone are here, but we were really seriously looking at Cornerstone store as an opportunity to bring a lake life store, but we didn't need all that space that they have. So the kind of things aligned last minute, and we wanted to do a pop-up store called the Lake Life Store, and so featuring all of our companies and experiences. And so we also want to sell additional tour boat tickets that people don't necessarily. You'd be surprised how many people don't walk down to the Riviera. they come to Lake Geneva, sometimes they don't even get that far. So we came up with this idea of a pop-up store. We did it in 30 days, and so we have a ribbon cutting next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
The store is about as from there to there, but it's a cute little store. It has some Gage gear. It has a monitor. You can buy. You'll see it all, but you can buy cruise line tickets. People will come into town. We have brand ambassadors in the store that where you're from, how long you're here for. You're going to get on the lake. Where you're doing. Do you have any dinner plans? We have a restaurant in Williams Bay. Would you like us to make a reservation? So we're going to see how that works. Hopefully we'll reevaluate and see if we're going to be there for next year.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, that ribbon cutting's at 2 p.m. next Thursday, so we hope to see you all there to help celebrate Gage Marine and that in Brand Experience Store. I'm actually going to combine these next two questions. So I love this one about going from local to legendary. I think you each have something that you can offer in this space. How have you leveraged local assets, and you've talked a little bit about this already, or the culture here in Lake Geneva to give your business a distinct identity and broader appeal? And if you borrowed anything from another industry that has had an impact on that? I'm going to start with you. You're Legendary Real Estate Services, after all.
Those are very two distinct questions. I'll answer the first one quickly. So what we play to our strengths. We're a small, but scrappy firm. So one of the things that we're good at is technology, videos, and everybody here does a great job in selling Lake Geneva. We don't have to. So if you've noticed, I sometimes have a punchiness to my personality. I combine that, with, so I've got a graduate background in real estate investment management. And just playing off of our partners, so creating these videos that showcase our locals, that bring in real life stories of buyers and sellers that help with the experience, and then also telling a story with the stats. So it's not telling you this is the median price of homes, but what's going on with buyer demand, what's going on in inventory, and turning that into actionable advice in 4 minutes or less that can really help you as far as pricing and getting the homes that you want or the price that you want. So that's the first question. The second one is, so we started our firm in the middle of COVID. Chris and I got let go in March, the year COVID started, the same month. So he had been managing a local real estate brokerage, a large one, and I had been working for a cannabis real estate company in California, and that went under. So we pivoted in that sense. He became the face. I always say he's the beauty of the operations. I'm the brains and the brawn. That was supposed to be funny, and then afterward laugh. And so I built the infrastructure, and I really leaned hard on my Marine Corps experience. If you don't know anything about the Marine Corps, that it's the most underfunded branch that has to do the most, or is asked to do the most. Imagine being in your early 20s and someone says, hey, go establish that forward operating base in the middle of a hostile country with half the supplies. Get to it. It really shapes a type of mindset, and that's what we needed to do to bring that. How can we do things better, faster, and with less money without cutting corners? And part of it too is really, you can't think out of the box unless you really understand that box, be intimate with it, and knowing what the problems are, the bottlenecks. Because once you do, what people don't realize is options don't give you creativity, restrictions do. When you have no choice but to do something, there's no going back. The boats are burnt. You have to figure it out. And so it's not about cutting corners. It's about learning where to round the corners and doing things smart, efficient. And that's how we built a very lean, high-tech, human touch company that we punch way above our weight class compared to a lot of the brokerages with corporate backing, national backing.
Awesome. Would any of you gentlemen like to add anything?
No, but I know a lady who might want to add something, and this isn't a hyper-local, although it is in a way, because at one point where we're standing right now is the habitat for eastern Massasauga rattlesnakes, and they're now along gone. And although we're proud of supporting conservation work all over the world, in Africa and Asia and elsewhere, we thought it was important that we made some kind of investment in the conservation of a species that's actually local right here to Wisconsin. So to give a little more, but not too much more information, is my lovely wife and our Director of Conservation, Maggie Christie.
Hi. At least you gave me a little heads up, I'd have to say something. So we obviously have a site here we want people to come and visit, but we also want to kind of expand what we do to animals in the wild. So a portion of everybody's admission here goes to support giraffe conservation and cheetah conservation in Africa. And then for the last, I'm dating myself, I'm going to say over 10 years, I've been participating in rattlesnake research in Michigan. We do have them in Wisconsin, but we do it in Michigan. And also Grenada frog research in Grenada. So we do try to take care of animals in the wild as well. So.
Talking local to legendary, I think the Straight to Your Plate program that we started at the resort is just amazing. We started this year, the chef wanted to partner with local purveyors, and so we've partnered with Lake Geneva Country Meats, Hill Valley Cheese, Doosterbecks, The Hive, I'm forgetting one, but every month then he takes an ingredient from that local business and creates dishes for each of the restaurants. So we have one in the cafe, one in the Chop House, one Brissago, and then one for our Grand Central. Usually there's a croissant there. But it gives us the opportunity to explore more. I forgot Creative Farms, that was the other one that we've done so far. But it allows the chef to explore more, come up with dishes that might be innovative for the remainder of the year. We find great dishes, and sometimes we just find great partners. Like this last weekend, we partnered again with Lake Geneva Country Meats, and we did a steak dinner for Father's Day, and all the meat came from them. So just finding those local partners that are willing to collaborate with us.
Fantastic. So I do have one more question, and I know it's a biggie, but I'm hoping that you can answer it succinctly because we do have to move on, but it's a fun one. If you could dream up your next moonshot partnership for the Lake Geneva region, what would it look like? Anybody have an answer for this one? I'm walking over towards Miss Jade.
Can you repeat the question?
Yep. If you could dream up your next moonshot partnership for the Lake Geneva region, what would it look like?
So I want to just give a very quick context. We live in a community where hardworking families, they're being priced out of the community that they're trying to live in. So we're losing teachers, nurses, essential workers, because there is a workforce housing crisis, not just in our area, but every area, but we're here. So wanting to address that. So what we did was we built a foundation that addresses these affordability issues and hopefully help solve it and really build hope into the community again. And that's what we called it, the Hope Foundation, the Build Hope Foundation for Home Opportunity Property Enhancement. So we have people on our board that's representing municipalities, that's representing the business district, that's representing the housing sector in county. And really a moonshot relationship isn't one person, it's having an entire community, more business leaders, more municipality leaders, educators, and local residents coming together to help solve these problems, pooling resources, whether it's from a funding standpoint or an idea or a workforce that could help solve these issues so that we can provide workforce housing opportunities and also enhance these properties. So for example, an elderly person on a fixed income that's going into winter and their furnace is out, who do they turn to? We want to be that resource for the community and have that flexibility to solve these issues. So the moonshot isn't one person, it's all of you.
Well said.
That's amazing. Really, really cool. I would say Moonshine Partnership would be being serious. I think that's unbelievable what they're doing. So we struggle with housing for employees. Is a major challenge. It's a major challenge in all the tourism communities in the state of Wisconsin. Some are better at it than others. We're very concerned with our housing situation in Minocqua, and trying to get employees to work up there. We're launching a new restaurant and a marina up there, hopefully next year. But Moonship Partnership here, one of the things I think we, as an organization, I think we got to find. I get emotional, but I think we have to find a way. I don't know why I get so emotional, but I'm passionate. I think we have to find a way to collaborate better. Everybody in this room, you know. And the other thing is, I think we also have to not take for granted the people that come visit Lake Geneva. People come here because it is a beautiful, amazing place. And there's nothing better. Like, I'm blown away here, Jay. I have to tell you, I told it, I was like, I've lived here my entire life and I've never pulled into this place. I'm embarrassed by that, you know? And shame on me, right? And I think what happens is we get so focused in our world, in our little planet, that we don't ever step up and see the surroundings that we're in. But my moonshot would be somehow, some way, we collectively have a committee of some sorts where we figure out how we can work collectively better together and drive, obviously, customer experiences, but obviously drive business to the community and to the surrounding area, and also appreciate the people that come visit us and don't take them for granted. And so give a shout out to the new mayor and the aldermen and so forth. I think they understand the importance of tourism and what it means to this community. And, you know, the fact that just our little company that's celebrating 153 years employs 650 people is mind-blowing to me. And I always say this to my employees: if we don't take care of the customer, somebody else will. And if this community does not take care of the people that visit, they're going to go somewhere else. And let's not take that for granted. So my Moonship Partnership is, let's make 2025 and 2026 a year where we get together and figure out how to really take Lake Geneva to another level. Thank you.
FJ read all my notes, so I'm done.
That's right.
Thanks, FJ.
That was very well said, and I hope that all of you, when you come to these events, that you're getting something that you can take away with you, and that the description, the moonshot that FJ just described, is part and parcel of what is happening when you come to these events. I really hope that. And if it's not, we're always willing to take that feedback as well, and those suggestions and how we can make it better. So anytime, please give me a call, send me an email, and let me know how we can help support that endeavor so that we can make this a community that does welcome our visitors, does provide an exceptional customer experience, and learns how to collaborate and partner together for the betterment of the community and for our businesses. So I just want to thank all of you for being here today, and all of you for being here. In the interest of time, I am